This is the character I'm going to use in Mixamo. I'm going to download the character. From my format type, FBX, from pose, I'm going to use the original pose. Later on, I can download a T-pose if I need to put my character into a more neutral position. I'm going to try the original pose first and hit download. Next step is to import this into Maya. This is the scene in Maya. I'm going to go import the character, just download it, file, import. And if you don't see the character, it's probably due to scale. If I zoom away from the room, giant character, small room. What to do about this? Create a cube. And there's the cube. I'm going to X-ray the joints. Under shading, X-ray joints. I'm going to click on the rootmost joint, which is the hip, and you see everything is selected from a bone point of view. I'm going to select that cube. Go into wireframe, easier to find the cube. And when I find the cube, I will shift click on it, and there's the cube. And press the P key. That parents the skeleton structure to this box. And when the box gets uniformly scaled by clicking in the center and dragging it smaller, the character gets uniformly scaled too. There the character is. A little tall for the room. Maybe that's some of the fun stuff. Person's too tall for the room. They're stuck in a tiny house. Let me zoom in, see the proportions. That's better. I'm going to select the textures and go under the attributes for the textures and choose a Lambert. Fong is too shiny for Arnold to render. Lamberts are a nice dull material. There is hair that's not showing up in the viewport, but it does exist. I'll also select a Lambert for that. I'll do a quick test rendering. Next, I'm going to select this object and assign it a human IK. You'll find the human IK tab off to the right side. If you don't see it there, under Windows, Animation Editor, Human IK, brings you the same window. Since we're starting with an imported skeleton and not a quick rig, not a skeleton we create ourselves, go under Create Character Definition. And this goes by relatively quickly. Select the rootmost joint, which is the hip. Right-click, assign selected bone, and go around the body and do all that. Assign selected bone. We'll go through assigning toes and fingers in a moment. Assign selected bone. Our goal is to either see a yellow version of this, but our ultimate goal is to see this as a green check mark. Let's see, here's a spine. This character has more than one spine segment right up here. Deselect, right up here. To see that, click on the little triangle and assign it to only the first one. Don't pick a random spine segment. They have to go from order down, upward. So from the bottom, assign. To get back to the main skeleton, up here. I'll select the upper arm, lower arm, the hand, and we could be done by selecting the head. We've got a green check mark, we're ready to go. There are fingers, so since this structure has some fingers that we might want to also control, click the triangle next to the hand, expose the fingers, select the thumb bone, and work your way throughout the hand. And when you're done with the hand, click the triangle to see the full body and make sure everything's still green. Excellent. We can continue. Well, the last step is to just select source and make that a control rig. And now we should have an easy time at manipulating our character, moving it. I'm going to go to the character control in the outliner and just pull that control over to the target area. Rotate this around. If you hold down the J key as you rotate, it snaps to an angle. And then a little tweaking. I'm setting up my scene. So let me make this character sit by selecting here as the controller and just doing the sit pose. They don't look very comfortable yet. Go put a camera in the scene, create camera, camera. I can see what that camera is looking at by going into camera perspective, camera 1. We'll align this camera to the scene. I'm going to turn on the film gate and resolution gate. All right, this is the setup for the first shot. This is my camera. I don't want to interfere with my camera. So I'll go to panel, perspective, and go back to the perspective. And this is where I'll move the character from. And when it's time to render, going into panel, perspective, back to camera 1. So this is frame 0. I'm going to select this controller and press the S key. When I do that, that puts a key on everything. I'll then turn on automatic key toggle. I'll move forward in time, let's say 2 seconds later or a second later. Character starts to put its leg down to get up. It's going to push its body forward a bit. I'm going to go to full body mode, which is already there. Selecting the little foot, putting it down, and I'll scrub between that motion. The other leg has to come down as well, making sure I'm on that correct keyframe, which is 30, and pulling that other leg down. Rotating the foot. Take a look at where the hands would be. The hands will probably be still gripping on to the chair. Using either move or rotations. The next pass, after we get the base motion, is to go down to the finger level and manipulate the fingers at the same keyframes. The first time around, just trying to get the motion going. Maybe the body's leaning forward. I'm going to go to part view. Investigate what's happening with the head. Rotate it a little bit. If you see something, I can see from this angle that this has to be corrected. However, if you look at your real camera, does that make a difference? Probably doesn't, but you could go back. Something like this needs more attention because it's facing the camera. So fixing the left hand, because that's what the camera's seeing. The camera's not seeing the right hand. Let's see what our camera sees again. So right now the feet are out of frame. And top of the head, maybe you want to push into the frame a little bit. But this could be our first shot. Let me play it in real time. 24 seconds, it is real time. So scene 1, shot 1. Character sees something. And then let me fix the head a little bit. It might be just correcting the camera. Just want the head in there. Superior shot. Less superior of a shot. This is where storyboarding things out will help you, because then you only need to animate exactly what's on the storyboard instead of exploring the shot. Here I'm not seeing the face as much. It's a bit towards the side, more perspective. Kind of want more towards the side like this. And that'll be the first second of animation. Next, do a file, save scene as. And this is my basic room. I really should call it basic room. Scene 01, shot 01. I'll render this out. I'll now save it, file, save as, scene 01, shot 02. And in this one, now that it is shot 02, I can then move the camera around, pick a better angle. Maybe in this shot, it's going to be like this. So now we can repeat the same shot and slice those two together, or advance the motion as the character moves forward. You'll render these out and then line them up in After Effects. To render them out, go under your settings, scrolling to the top. Prefix won't be just room. I'm going to call it scene 01 and shot 01, or actually this is 02. File format. I'm going to use PNG since I don't need the alphas. That's okay with Arnold. Going down the list, it's not name dot extension, it'll be name underscore pound. This will be scene 01, shot 02, frame underscore 01, 02, 03. Start at what frame? I'm starting at frame 1, ending at frame 30. Actually, I'm starting at frame 0, looks like. Don't want to skip my extra frame, but I think it's okay. Which camera to use? My camera. What's the size of the rendering? HD 1080. And that finishes out this form. Save. Next, to render it out, go under Rendering, Render, Render Sequence, the little Properties box next to it. Make sure Camera 1 is selected. If you want an alternative location for the files, instead of being placed into the Images folder, you can select that. And I'll select that folder. And then when I click on Render Sequence, it's going to tie up the computer as it renders out these 30 frames, and I'll go render out scene 01. Now I'm going to put these two together, and then I'll move on to a different shot based upon this scene. So when I'm done with this, I'll save this as file, save as scene 01, shot 03, manipulate the character, move the camera, and move forward to my action. But I'm seeing this as I probably could get 2 seconds of animation out of this based upon the same camera.